Hello guys, my name is Brian Cancel and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to code in HTML5 and CSS3 in order to create stunning websites. But first, we have to prepare your environment. We have to get you started. So the first thing you have to do is obtain a text editor, or rather find it, depending on whether you have the Windows operating system or the Mac operating system. I'm going to show you the Windows version. If you want to know the Mac version, you would have to look up on Google so you kind of get a feel, or you know what text editor to use for that operating system. So for the Windows version, the first thing you're going to do to find it is you're going to go to the Start button. You're going to go to All Programs. And in my case, I'm not sure how it is for you, generally you would have to look under Accessories. In my case, I have to go under Windows Accessories over here, and we're going to find our program, Notepad. Now, Notepad is a text editor, plain text. It has no formatting whatsoever, but that's what we want to code with HTML and CSS3. So now that we know what the program is, I'm going to show you a practical way to create a new document. And first of all, we're going to create a folder because generally you want to store all the files for your website in a folder. So we're going to call this folder Our Website. And inside the folder, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to select Text Document. And we're thinking of names, but I'm gonna give you a name. This has to be standard for every homepage of your website. So every homepage must have the name index. And some of you might be wondering, how come you have to name it index? What is the point? Well, every browser looks for the index file first, or the file name index first, because that's the one that it considers a home page. So it's generally suggested and it's highly advised that you use index as your name. Now we have a problem here. The type of file that this is, we have a txt file or a text file, and we don't want a text file, even though we're using a text editor. So how do we change the file extension? Well, first thing you have to do is you have to show your file extension. So in the Windows 8 version, you would go to View. You would go to right here, File Name Extensions. You're going to click that little box, and you're going to get .txt. So now we have the power to change it. So we're going to click on it. We're going to right click, and we're going to go Rename. And now we're going to change this to HTML because we are coding in HTML. So this makes it yes. You click yes. So now this makes it an HTML file. And in the case of a CSS file, which we'll be teaching you how to write sooner or later, we're going to do the same thing. We're gonna name it CSS. So now you see it says CSS file and HTML file. So there's a clear distinguishable extension for each type of file, and that's what we want in our text editor. Now, additional to this, we would like to install multiple browsers, and the reason why we want to install multiple browsers is because generally you want to be able to view your website in browsers, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, old versions, new versions, because you want to make sure that your website is viewed the same way throughout all browsers. Because if in one browser like Firefox, your website is viewed amazing, and then you go to Internet Explorer and it just everything's distorted and out of place, your customers are not gonna like that. And let's say your customer doesn't have Firefox. Let's say your customer or the person viewing the website only has Internet Explorer. That means that your site is going to look ugly. So you have to make sure that your website is compatible with all browsers. So I'm just going to take you through downloading Firefox, for example. So I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go to download Firefox. Now you want to be careful because these are ads, so you want to go to the first link after the ads, and generally that's the one to download Firefox. So here it is. And you would just click on that and follow the installation wizard, and you can start using Firefox. So thank you guys for your time, and I think that concludes our first video lesson, Getting Ready.